know, you had an opportunity to speak up tonight, but you and Dr. Mueller did not. How do you think the meeting went, though?
Well, I thought the meeting was very encouraging, actually. The village board commented on how they'd like to move forward in working towards a lot of the goals that we've recommended, which is ways to lower taxes and merge services, which is what we've been discussing for 6 months now. And so a very encouraging discussion this evening. So they passed out an analysis that apparently they'd been working on for a while. A little disappointed that it's coming just a week before the vote, and we haven't had a chance to look through that. Our proposal's been out for weeks, and so we'll take a look at that. Unfortunately, as you know, we're not going to be able to respond in the local newspaper. The deadline is tomorrow at noon, and there's no way that we can analyze their entire plan in the next 14 hours. So we're a little disappointed that we didn't have a chance to go through that and respond. But if you listen to what was said tonight, regardless of which way the vote goes, the village board is committed to working towards shared services and working on equal taxation for things like the police department. So we're very encouraged by that.
I know, like, some people said that, oh, the mall committee can come in, propose this, and then walk away. What do you think about that? I mean, do you necessarily agree or disagree with that comment?
None of us are going anywhere. We're long-term residents. I live right next door to two of the trustees, and we all live right around the corner from Dr. Mueller, and we've all been involved in community activities for our entire lives. So we're not going anywhere, and if certainly they want us to contribute, if the vote passes, certainly we would sit down and do that, and we'd help them come to the right resolution. And even if the vote doesn't pass, I'm certain that we'd all enjoy continuing to work with both boards, the village and the town, to maybe accomplish some of the goals that we've set out.
Okay, so then, let's assume that there's the no vote succeeds. Now, will you and the other members of the MALT group be more proactive with both entities, the town and the village, to work towards developing a plan to, be maybe a watchdog group for the citizens of the village of Lakewood and the town of Bustye, just to keep the process going?
Well, I think one of the greatest benefits that are going to come out of this entire process is village residents and even town residents, I think, are going to be much more aware of what their government spends, how they spend it, who's spending it, and where it's going. So going forward, I hope that everybody takes a more active role in both their town government and the village government, and ourselves included. We should back up what we've been saying and certainly keep the pressure on for our elected officials to work in our best interest.
Now, is the MALT group or any other group that you're aware of, like, working with the county executive to try to look at the whole region and see what can be done about maybe, like, bringing in West Ellicott or Ellicott and Celeron, and maybe looking at the Lakewood, Ellicott, Celeron region and Bustye as one,
well,
maybe another step?
Sure. When we look at the global idea of reducing the size of government and consolidating government, you would certainly think that if the village of Lakewood merged into the town, that there's opportunity for other mergers to occur throughout our county, and we certainly don't want to get to a point where you lose the direct contact you have with your representatives. We have two village residents that sit on the town board. You certainly don't want to lose that representation. You want to have direct access to them. But you certainly want to look at merging into other entities to regionalize some government and save more dollars as you really get an economy of scale by more and more mergers. Certainly that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm unaware of anybody working on that right now. Again, one project at a time.
Right. I'm just saying it seemed to me, I live in the village of Lakewood too, and it just seemed to me, because I'm from Rochester, and it just seemed to me that when I look at the area from doorstep to doorstep, when I go from my home to my largest client's place of business, it's 6 miles. So to me, the area is relatively small. So to have all of these little towns doesn't make a lot of sense. That's why I was saying, when I look at it, I was thinking, well, maybe if the county executive took a lead in it, then you could say, well, if Ellicott has 2 police cars, they could fall under the auspices of Lakewood potentially. And then, I don't know if they have a police chief, I'll assume they do, but maybe if that guy's 5 years out of retirement, and I think a lot of the problem with this is with the fear with mergers is that people are looking at losing jobs potentially. That's the first thought is my neighbor's going to be out of work. So then they say no right away without even considering anything else.
I agree with everything you've just said. Is the fear of dissolution is just that. It's a fear that really isn't going to be realized. The police department is still going to exist. The fire department is still going to exist. We're recommending that in this case we carry over those employees because they're all our friends and our neighbors. And we want them to still have jobs. We want them to be taken care of because we like them and they're our neighbors. Now, over time, certainly through retirements and workers that move, certainly we're going to save more money down the road. Obviously, if you extrapolate that out to further mergers, you're going to save more. And I agree with you 100%. This is a small area to have so many layers of government. Now, what we're trying to do here is change a culture of government, and if we do that, can you carry that into your county government and change the culture of government we've created throughout this county, through this state, and through this country? Boy, I hope so. Boy, I hope so. I'm a pragmatist, but at the same time, I dream a lot, and I hope that we can change the culture of our government, because if we can't, we're all in deep trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for your time.